Hey guys, so today I'm filming a video that I am extremely excited about. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the makeup products I used up in 2015. Now you've probably seen these products featured in an empties or a project use it up update, but I wanted to make one video dedicated solely to showing you every single item I used up, and honestly that's mostly for the fact that I'm so proud of the amount of products I was able to complete. I used up 63 makeup products in 2015. That does include sample products and full-size products. So what I'm going to do is separate my products into categories, and I'm going to show them to you in the order I apply them to my face. I'm going to give you my very quick thoughts, basically whether I would repurchase them or not, and I'm just super excited about this video, and I will finally get to throw away all of these empties I've been saving for the entire year. I definitely plan on doing that again next year because I really enjoyed saving all my empties, because to see them here at once really makes me feel like I've accomplished something and used up a ton of products. So let's just jump in with primers. Starting with primers, I finished up 4 this year. 3 of them were sample sizes and 1 was a full size. So starting with the Estee Lauder Matte Primer, I love the way this felt on my skin. I felt like it did do a little bit to help control my oil, so I definitely would repurchase this one. Next I have a sample size of the Benefit Porefessional. I felt like this didn't do anything for my pores. I don't think it's worth the hype, and I definitely will not be repurchasing this. Next is a sample of the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. This is amazing. It works a million times better than the Benefit. I feel like it actually helps fill and blur my pores, so I absolutely will repurchase this one. And lastly, I have the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This made my skin feel nice, but it didn't do anything for me. It didn't prolong my makeup. It didn't help me control my oil. It didn't fill in pores. So this is $16. It didn't do a single thing for me, so definitely not going to repurchase this. Moving on to foundations, I did finish 4 in the year of 2015. First, I have the Revlon Colorstay Foundation for oily combo skin in the shade 150 Buff. I do believe I would repurchase this. It is one of the best drugstore foundations that I've tried. Next, I have the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation in the shade Porcelain. I do believe I would repurchase this one as well. It did give really great coverage and it applied really smoothly. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations as well. Next, I have the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus Foundation in the shade number 20. This only gave about medium coverage. It did a decent job at controlling my oil. I honestly felt like the e.l.f. version was a great dupe of this, and I would purchase the e.l.f. over the Makeup Forever. And the last foundation I used up is the Hard Candy Glamoflague in the shade Porcelain. I will definitely repurchase this. I consider this to be holy grail. It does give great medium buildable coverage, and this is my perfect mixing foundation because it is so fair. Moving on to concealers, I finished up 6 in the year of 2015. 3 of them are the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Erasers. I have tried 3 different shades this year. The Neutralizer Yellow Tone, I have the Brightening Pink Tone, and I have the Fair shade. I am not going to be repurchasing the Neutralizing because it is too dark for me. I'm not going to repurchase the Fair because it matched my skin tone completely, so it didn't actually highlight. I might repurchase the Brightener in the future. It's a little bit too pink for my liking, but I love this formula and the applicator, so I probably will repurchase this one. Then I finished the NYX HD Concealer in yellow. I love the HD concealers. I feel like they're really pigmented opaque. They have a nice satin finish. For some reason, this yellow shade was not very pigmented at all. I don't know if it is this color that's not pigmented or if it was just this particular tube, so I wouldn't repurchase the yellow anymore, but I do love their regular skin tone shades in that line. Next, I finished up the NYX Dark Circle Corrector in the shade Fair. This did have a nice peachy tone without being too orange, so it will actually work well for fair skin. This was much too moisturizing for me because my under eye is really oily. If you have more dry under eyes, I think you'd really like this, but you definitely do need to put a concealer on top of it. It will correct the darkness and the blueness under the eye, but it won't cover. So I'm not going to be repurchasing this because I felt like it was unnecessary for me. My last concealer is the MAC ProLongwear in the shade NC15. This is my holy grail concealer for my blemishes. I love the shade, I love the opacity, and I do love the finish. This works under my eyes as well. This also works for me during the winter and during the summer, so this is holy grail. Will absolutely repurchase this concealer. So next for powders, including under eye and face powders, I used up 13. I go really ham with powder. Starting with a few for the under eye, the first one I finished was a Sonia Kashuk Loose Brightening Powder, which in my opinion is a dupe for the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder Loose. I absolutely love this for the under eyes, definitely will repurchase. Then I finished up two of the Wet n Wild Mattifying Powder, which is a dupe for the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder Pressed. I love the formula of this. It is better than the NARS because you don't have to scrape through half the product to get to the good stuff. This is good from the jump. So both of these are dupe for the NARS powders in my opinion, and they are incredible. Holy grails to me, definitely will repurchase these. The next powder I finished up is a MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural in the shade Light. I tried using this for my whole face and it was too light for me, so then I used it to set my under eyes and it worked really well for that. This powder does nothing for me as an oily skin person. If you are more dry, I think you would like this to set your makeup because it's not going to make you look cakey or it's not going to make you look dried out. So this did not work for me and I would not repurchase this. Next I have a loose setting powder. This is the e.l.f. HD powder in the shade Corrective Yellow. I did love the Corrective Yellow shade. It was fantastic to help neutralize my cheeks, but the formula of this is not as finely milled as I would like. I much prefer my NYX Set It Don't Fret It loose powder, so I will not be repurchasing this. My next powder is the L'Oreal True Match in the shade W1 Porcelain. I don't like this powder at all. The color is terrible on me and I do not like the formula. It does not do anything to help control my oil. It does give nice coverage, but I absolutely will not repurchase this powder. I finished up three of the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder foundations. I have two in the shade Nude and one in the shade Ivory. I'm not going to repurchase Nude because it is a little bit too dark for me now. If I get a little bit of color in the summer, I'll probably go back to this color, but the shade I usually wear is #1 Ivory, which I have to buy online. I love this powder. It gives great coverage. It does help keep me matte without looking flat and dry and cakey. This is my holy grail #1 powder. So my runner-up #2 holy grail powder would be the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 100 Translucent, which is not translucent. It's very fair with a yellow undertone. As you can see, I finished up 3 of these this year as well. This is a fantastic formula. It also helps keep me matte. It gives great coverage and it is a wonderful color for me. So these are the 2 face powders I'm probably going to use for the rest of my life. I always like to try new ones, but I always go back to these. Because the Ivory shade I have to buy online, I have 4 right now. I did stock up, but once I finish up those, I'm probably going to start using the Maybelline Fit Me again. And the last powder I used up was the Neutrogena Shine Control powder. This is really nice to touch up, but I will not be repurchasing this because my new favorite holy grail touch-up powder is the Rimmel Stay Matte. Lastly for face, I have 2 random products. First is the Boots Expert Shine Control papers. These were okay. I actually much prefer the e.l.f. On the Spot Mattifying Blotting Papers, so I will not be repurchasing these. And then I had the Ben Nye Final Seal Makeup Setting Spray. I'm not going to be repurchasing this. It has a very strong mouthwash scent, and also the sprayer on this bottle is terrible, and it makes it shoot out super heavy, thick drops on your face, and it actually messes up your makeup, so I definitely am not going to repurchase this either. Moving on to brow products, I finished up 8. The first one I finished is the NYX Waterproof Eyebrow Primer. I did think that this was nice, but I much prefer using my NYX Eyebrow Shaper Wax Pencil as a base. Then I finished up 4 brow pencils. First is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Sculptor in the shade Blonde. It was a really great color for me, and this did draw onto skin and onto hair very well. This is a pencil you have to sharpen, which I do not prefer because I feel like I'm not able to get as precise of a point, so I'm not going to be repurchasing this one. Then I finished up 2 of the Maybelline Define Brow in the shade Dark Blonde, which is a fantastic cool tone color for me. I love the formula of this pencil as well because it does draw onto skin and onto brow hair. It does have a very nice precise tip. Absolutely will repurchase this. And the last brow pencil I have is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe. I love the formula. I love the color. Again, draws onto brow hair and onto skin very well. It has a very precise point. I will not be repurchasing this because I feel like the NYX Micro Brow does the same job for half the price. Next I have a brow highlight I completed, which is the Milani Brow Highlight in the shade #2 Matte Cream Luminous Lift. I used up the matte cream side, which is more of a pinky undertone. I love the formula of this brow highlight. I'm probably going to try it next in the more yellow tone shade, but I definitely will repurchase this. Then I finished up 2 of the Milani Clear Shaping Brow Gel. I really did enjoy this. It is the best drugstore clear brow gel that I've ever tried. It has a very nice small brush to apply to your brows. It did give nice hold. I'm not going to purchase this right away because I have a couple backups of brow gel, but I definitely would recommend this one. Next, I finished up one eyeshadow. This is the Wet n Wild single in the shade Brulee, which is the perfect matte cream for me to use as a brow bone highlight. I love this shade and the formula. Definitely will repurchase this. Moving on to eyeliner, I finished up 5. I finished 2 of the Maybelline Line Stiletto liquid liner. This used to be holy grail to me, but the formula has changed. It is very watery, not pigmented. I have to layer it a ton of times. So while I love the applicator, the formula has changed and is not good anymore, so I will not be repurchasing this. Next, I finished up the Rimmel Exaggerate eyeliner in the shade In the Nude. I really did enjoy this formula. It was a nice twist up liner. It stayed in my waterline for a decent amount of time. I wouldn't repurchase this liner in any other shade, but I probably will repurchase this for the nude. Then I finished up 2 travel size of the Urban Decay 24/7 liners. The first shade I had finished was Whiskey, which is a warm tone brown. It is a cream finish. And the other shade I finished up is Bourbon, which is a neutral brown with golden shimmer. I do not recommend the Urban Decay liners with shimmer because they do not draw over top of eyeshadow well at all. I had to run back and forth a million times on my eyes, and really what was happening is that the liner was just being coated in shadow and it wasn't applying to my eye easily. Now the cream finishes do apply a lot easier. These are great for the upper lash line, but I don't think they last in my waterline. I'm not going to repurchase these liners anymore because I prefer using liquid liners. Next, for mascara, I finished up 7, 3 sample size and 4 full size. First one I have is the MAC Zoom Fast Black Lash Mascara. The brush is no good. I thought that this mascara did absolutely nothing for me. No length, no volume, no separation, nothing. It just made my lashes a little bit more black, so definitely would not repurchase this. Then I finished the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, which is more of a dry formula and a natural bristle brush. I really love this mascara for giving length, and I definitely will repurchase this one. Then I finished the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, also a dry formula and a natural bristle brush in an hourglass shape. I love this mascara. This gave nice volume and it made my lashes look fluttery. I love to pair this with the Tarte so I could have long, full, and fluttery lashes. I definitely will repurchase this one. Next, I finished up the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, which is a plastic brush and it is more of a wet formula. This mascara gave some length and some volume, but nothing that I found really impressive. A lot of people love this mascara, but I just don't, so I am not going to be repurchasing this. The next mascara I finished is a Maybelline Colossal Cat Eyes, which is a natural bristle brush and a wet formula. I love this mascara. This is holy grail to me. It is fantastic for giving length and a little bit of curl. The next mascara I finished up is the Maybelline Falsies Original Mascara. I haven't tried any of the other Falsies versions, but this one is fantastic. It has a little bit of a scoop to it. It is a wet formula and a natural bristle brush. This gives great volume, so I really love to pair it with the Maybelline Colossal Cat Eyes. One of my holy grail mascaras, definitely will repurchase. My last mascara is the Rimmel Lash Accelerator, a really wet formula and a natural bristle brush. I love this mascara. It gives really great length and volume as well. It is super black. It also does great for separating because the brush is so small. It really does help get in between your lashes. This is another holy grail mascara to me and I definitely will repurchase it. Moving on to lip products, I have one lip scrub and lip treatment. I finished up the e.l.f. Lip Exfoliator, which is my favorite lip exfoliator. I definitely will repurchase this one. I also finished up a sample of the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. I'm on the fence about whether I will or will not repurchase this. I was really impressed with the texture and the way it made my lips feel, but I was only able to try it a couple times, so I'm still not sure. I finished up 8 lip balms this year. First would be the Burt's Bees Original Chapstick, which I do enjoy, but it is a little bit too thick, and for as often as I apply chapstick, I feel like it can kind of cake up on me. Then I finished the Maybelline Baby Lips in Peppermint. I do not like Baby Lips formula. Way too thin for me. Do not moisturize my lips at all, so definitely will not repurchase this one. Then I finished 4 of the EOS Smooth Stick in the scent Sweet Mint. I absolutely love the formula. It is a perfect texture between thick and thin. I really love this scent as well. I really enjoy the stick format for putting it in my pocket. I'm only able to find the stick versions at Ulta, but I definitely will repurchase this. I finished up 2 of the EOS Smooth Spheres, one in Sweet Mint and one in Vanilla Mint. There are 2 scents that have these little swirlies on them, the vanilla mint and coconut milk, which are supposed to be more moisturizing. I definitely love both of these and will repurchase both. Lastly, I finished up 3 colored lip products this year. The first 2 are Revlon lip butters. I finished up the shade Peach Parfait, which was a peachy shade with some golden shimmer, and I also finished Strawberry Shortcake, which was a light neutral undertone pink. I did really love these colors and I love the formula. I've had these for so long. They're my first lipsticks loves, but I'm not going to be repurchasing them because I have so many other lipsticks in my collection I need to go through. The last one I have is the Tarte Matte Lip Surgeons and Expose. The most amazing comfortable matte formula, very pigmented and opaque, and I love this shade. It is a perfect peachy nude for my skin tone. Even though these are expensive, I think they are worth their money and I will repurchase this. So guys, those are all the makeup products I used up in 2015. I am so proud of everything I was able to use up. I would love to know what makeup products you used up this year and what your thoughts are on these products. Thank you all so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.